Oh yeah, it's time for another episode of We Love Comics, the show where we love comics, and you should too. I am Vactor, and I would like to say to my boy, Mr. Marcus Seaberry, welcome back. Seaberry, how you doing?
Man, I'm good. All right.
What's been going on in Memphis?
Boy, I live in North Memphis. I live in the hood.
Ooh.
A lot of shooting.
Dang.
I make the joke that like some people go to sleep with ambient sounds like waves or leaves and all that crap. My ambient sounds are gunshots.
Ooh.
I'd be like, 10:35 gunshots. Right on schedule. Time for some Z's. The world is crazy again. In Buffalo recently at a supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood, some young white gentleman decided to go and start shooting up black people, which was crazy because his whole thing was great replacement theory. Like he was dropping 180-page manifestos on 4chan. Ah, yes, 4chan. Such a great positive site. So many wonderful things happen. And I was like, dude, first of all, he said it was about Jewish people, but I'm like, but you shot black people. And then I was like, dude, white people still have all the money. I think white people will be okay when they're not the majority.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, dude, based on statistics, the Hispanic people are going to be the majority. I mean, don't shoot them. But it was like, why shoot the black people?
Right.
Like, I don't know. And then today in Texas, some 18-year-old guy, he shot and killed his grandma. Then he drove to a school in Texas. I think right now the count is 18.
Yeah, that was the last I heard.
Kids and 2 adults. And I'm like, I subbed last year. Like, the thought that I could have been in something like that is crazy.
Yeah.
My wife is in the education field. I'm trying to talk to her now like, yo, you got to be super aware of your surroundings. But this is crazy. This is senseless. And I mean, I hate saying thoughts and prayers because this seems so cliche, but like, just my sympathies to anybody like the families and friends of the people involved in those tragedies, man. Like, hold your head up. Whatever your belief system is, cling to that. I'm a church boy, so I'm praying for you. That was just super heavy.
Yeah, and for me, for me as a parent, the same thing you were saying about your wife, I'm thinking of that as a dad now, where I didn't have that thought before. Now I'm thinking, okay, my son is going to be in these situations in the future. And hopefully by then, he's only 1 right now, but hopefully by the time he's going to school, we won't be having these type of issues. But definitely, I'm 100%. We Love Comics is in support of all of the victims and the families of these tragedies. So definitely not a great thing to happen in our nation, in our country. But hopefully Miss Seaberry and I can bring your lift your spirits a little bit.
Yeah, but first of all, to lift some spirits, y'all know what time it is. Hey, new figure alert. Hey, new figure alert. Yeah. Now, if you've been watching the show, I had the left eye. Had to go and round out my TLC. I got that T-bars and chili.
Ooh, on the TLC tip.
Ah, yes. R.I.P. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, man.
That was great album.
You know what? I've never listened to Ooh on the TLC tip in its entirety.
What?
Man, I wasn't buying albums back then, and I never backtracked. The album that had an effect on me was their sophomore release, Crazy Sexy Cool. I love that album so much. And I got one more figure, and I'm going to tell y'all, it's a horrible figure, but I'm going to explain why I bought it. This is a terrible figure of Ember Moon, who used to be in the WWE.
And you paid for it.
Why did I buy it? Why did I buy it? Because she was recently released by the WWE. She hasn't, I think her 90 days are up or near up, and she hasn't signed with anyone yet, like another wrestling fed. So I'm just like, well, I don't know when the heck she's going to get another figure. So, like,
dang.
This will be my placeholder in the hopes that she will sign with someone. Or crap, these days, even indie folks are getting figures. So this is my placeholder in the hopes that she'll either A, get a better figure somewhere, or I'll finally break down and buy her figure from when she was in NXT, which is a WWE developmental system. The cheapest I've seen it is like $35 on eBay. But it's a much better figure. Again, this is because I don't know when she's going to get a figure. But it's not a great figure.
Those were the new fig alerts from Seaberry. Keep us posted on your new fig alerts, Seaberry.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get right into our comics. And just so you know, we do a burn, borrow, buy system on We Love Comics. If we love the comic, we want you to read it. We're gonna give it a buy rating. If, it's all right, you can take it or leave it. Then it's a borrow rating. Like, hey, borrow it from your friend. Check it out from your local library. But you don't necessarily have to pay money for it. If we hated it, we are going to burn it to the ground, Seaberry.
Oh, man. You just gave me all the In Living Color flashbacks right there.
Yeah.
What did they say? What was that? It was something.
They got so many.
That Julia Roberts was there. They were like, hated it. They should have named it A Fish Called Julia. I was like, damn, why y'all coming for Julia Roberts? Man. All right, check it. First, let me get to the ones that I am just going to rate. I'll give the credits or the main credits, and then I'll rate.
Yeah.
All right, first up is Immortal X-Men #2. Kieran Gillen is the writer.
Nice.
Lucas Wernick is the artist. David Carroll is the color artist. Celine, she animated some creatures on Krakoa causing troubles. They didn't put her on the High Council. So Hope and Exodus like darn near worships Hope because, she was the Messiah back when, the child born when mutant children weren't being born. Yeah, and they're trying to stop her. They Mr. Sinister came out of his secret lab and with some kind of super steroid thing. He got big and swole, like giant size and swollen. He beat the monster. It's interesting. There's always machinations and politics and subterfuge going on. And they wound up killing Celine, but then of course she was resurrected because death means nothing to the X-Men now. Yeah, it looks like one of them is going to meet an untimely demise. Yeah, it is a bit of a get out of jail free card and a plot device.
Because it's the same.
I don't know.
It's like the thing that us as comic readers have been not, particularly fond of is, they can just bring anybody back. Like death has no meaning, right? And they can do it in a way that anytime someone dies, they're going to come back. Like, let's say Logan, Wolverine, when they killed him, Death of Wolverine. Oh, wait, you think Logan's staying dead? No, they're bringing him back at some point. And they'll wait a few years, but they'll bring him back in a creative way. And it's like that, but to the extreme, because they'll bring him back right away. And it's like, there's no time to miss the guy. Like, there's no time for you to mourn that character. And you're like, they'll just bring him back. They'll just resurrect him. So yeah, as soon as as quickly as possible, let's get rid of this, Seaberry.
What was the guy? He's a filmmaker and he did these long videos about
was it
Death of Superman and all
this?
Yeah,
John Landis' son, Max Landis. Max Landis.
Max Landis. He theorized that Superman's resurrection kind of broke Death in Comics even more, because after that, just everybody came back. I mean, you think about Bucky finally came back, Jason Todd finally came back. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. But like I said, it was a cool little issue, a lot of little political machinations mixed with punching, which is kind of what X-Men does. Like I said, I struggled in the early days of Jonathan Hickman's run, because I was like, man, if y'all don't go on with these talking ass superhero comics, because I'm not really a fan of chatty superhero comics. Now, non-superhero comics talk to your heart's content. But you know, when I think superheroes, I think hashtag tights and fights. I kind of saw what Hickman was doing, and the people that have taken up after him, they're also doing a good job. And this is a buy. Just, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just the whole X universe has just been so good. It's so amazing.
Oh yeah. Let's get to what I read this week. I actually got a chance to catch up on Miles Morales: Spider-Man Volume 1, straight out of Brooklyn, written by Saladin Ahmed, with art by Javier Garron, and cover art by Brian Stillfreeze. Now, this is the first volume of the current book, and I really want to get caught up as soon as possible because I loved Volume 1. This actually came out in 2018. I can't believe it's been 4 years, because I remember it when it came out. I was like, yes, there's a new Miles Morales book, because I had read all of the previous Miles stuff. You know, I'm a huge Into the Spider-Verse fan, huge Miles Morales fan, because he has a personal connection to myself. Now, I am part African-American. My wife is Latina, and Miles Morales is perfect. He's a blend of both of us. And my son, I kind of call him Miles, not to his face, but you know, when he gets a little bit older, maybe I'll start calling him little Miles Morales walking around here, Miles Morales Vactor. But I can't wait to introduce him to Miles Morales, and the representation is very important for me. I love all of the Spanish that he speaks to his mother in Spanish, and just little sprinklings of things. I'll send him to my wife and be like, hey, what is this Spanish word? Because she speaks Spanish, and she'll explain it back to me. But I'm finding new stuff all the time in it. The art is fantastic. It's just really fun, vibrant art that jumps off the page. I love the way all of the characters are written. Love the way all the characters are drawn. And in these first 6 issues, it does a really good job of just setting up the status quo for Miles and where he's at. You know, there's new villains coming in as well as old ones. We got Tombstone and Rhino, but Rhino is actually a good guy in this book. And just that balance, that's, you know, the classic Spider-Man Peter Parker struggle of, hey, I gotta keep up with my bills, I gotta keep up with my mom, my parents, I gotta keep up as Spider-Man, and then I also have my friends, and I want a little romance, a little relationship going on here. So all of that stuff is perfect. It's exactly what I love about Spider-Man, about Peter Parker in Miles Morales. And it's like the classic, because he's a youngster rather than Peter being kind of older in the comics. So this is book 1 of 7 right now of Miles Morales. So I'm definitely going to get caught up. And you know this is a buy. There's not even a question. This is a buy. Miles Morales, issues 1 through 6, which is collected in a volume 1 paperback, straight out of Brooklyn, 100%. And you can actually even get it on Comixology Unlimited, free with your membership. So definitely check out Miles Morales, volume 1. And I'm going to continue to catch up. I'm still trying to get caught up on Amazing Spider-Man, but it's going to be a while, folks. So that's going to do it for this week on We Love Comics. We'd like to thank you for listening. Don't forget to check out all of our Geek So to Speak shows on the Geek So to Speak network. That's just www.geeksotospeak.com/network, where you can find great shows like TREKnological, our Star Trek show, We Love Comics, We Love Comics, our comic book show, the Sandbox Gamers, our video game show, and Geek So to Speak, which is having its 200th episode this week as I record this. So this week we're going through a format change, and I think you, as a We Love Comics viewer, I think you're going to enjoy the new format change on Geek, so to speak. So stay tuned to www.geeksotospeak.com and here on YouTube. If you had a comic that you want us to read, or if you liked it, want to share your thoughts, don't forget to leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on Anchor, you can always send in a voicemail. I will play it on the show. We will let everybody know what you thought about a certain comic book, or if you had a topic that you want us to talk about. All of that can be done on the Anchor app or on the Anchor website. So I would like to thank you very much for listening to and watching We Love Comics, the show where we love comics, and you should too.
So if one of them die, get in a coma, it's gonna be back to D&D. That ninja dead. But